Welcome here on the Lane live stream. 17:41 on the clock. Just moments ago, the women's team a dominant victory over the visiting Mount Hood Saints. So stick around here on the stream. About 17 minutes, we'll go live here for men's basketball versus Mount Hood. Welcome here on the Lane live stream to a good day in Eugene, Oregon. The second half of a doubleheader. Earlier today, the women's team dominated Mount Hood. Now we're going to have the men's team versus Mount Hood. My name is Levi Berkhold, joined by Jacob Salau, and it's going to be a good day of basketball, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. We were just here for the women's game. The women absolutely dominated. And now it's time for the men's. And the men's, it's also the end of the season. They honored their sophomores before the game started. It's a good vibe all around.
Good vibes only. Sophomore night here in Eugene. 3 sophomores on this team honored Devin Hinton, the sophomore out of Brentwood, California. One of the better, if not the best players on this team. Put up 14.4 points and 9.9 rebounds. A dominant player who's been a leader on the squad. I've seen him over and over again, leading huddles, encouraging his teammates. He's just a great influence to everyone around him. Other 2 sophomores they honored. Sophomore Riley San Germano at Junction City. Sophomore Kai Blodgett out of Houston, Texas. San Germano, one of the sharpshooters on this team. Just a ton of fun to watch. Aggressive on defense, just puts it all in the court every moment, every time. And then Kai Blodgett, who's been a good portion of the year, being that 6th man. He's in the starting role today. Let's go over starting lineups. Those 3, Hinton, San Germano, and Blodgett in the starting lineup for the Titans. Joining them, Blackmore as the guard, and Trayson Harbor as one of the forwards. Will Pluma still in free clothes after suffering an apparent right shoulder injury earlier this week. For the visiting team, the Mount Hood Saints, they are 10-15 on the year, 9-6 in conference. Their starting lineup, Will Wilson, Gabe Sorensen, Cameron Vaughn, Wayne Hampton, the 4 guards, and then Nick Fowler as a post player. Will Wilson, a sophomore out of Lorton, Virginia, 27.0 points. Average.
Absolutely insane.
His last game versus Lane, he dropped 29, 6, and 3. He leads the conference, not the division, the conference in points per game. His shooting splits, 49% from the field, 42% from 3, 85% from the free throw line. He is the name to watch all day if you're here to watch some good basketball.
And what's so impressive is that he's so tall as well. 6'4" for Will Wilson. They had to put Kai Blodgett on him because Kai Blodgett's 6'5".
Blackmore takes this first one, gives San Germano the feed to Hinton in the post up, puts it up, and that will not go. Rebound controlled by Sorensen. The Titans coming to the squad, coming to this day, 9-18 on the year, 4-11 in conference. They are 1-7 since February 1st, struggling there. Hampton goes basket, gets the roll to go. Our first points of the day go for the Saints. Head coach C.J. Edwards for the men's team. Alex Seum on the other side. Head coach for the Saints squad. Blodgett with the ball, fakes right, goes left, spins back left, puts it up. What a move there.
And it just seems like anytime Blodgett does a spin move, he makes so much space. Absolutely no defender even close to him.
Here's Wilson with the ball, the feed off, and goes to Fowler, puts it up, and 1 3-point opportunity.
And then we just go around, and what a pass right there from Wilson. He looked like the whole way he's going to go put up that shot for a layup, and somehow just flicks his wrist, and it becomes a pass. It was absolutely insane.
The Saints, they head into this last day of the season, tied with Southwest Oregon for the final playoff spot. Those 2 teams split the season series. Southwest Oregon playing as we speak. So a lot's on the line for these Saints. Titans, they're building something here, but they will not be in the postseason this year. San Germano takes it, pulls for a quick 3-pointer, rattles in and out. Rebound, Wilson. Slows this one down. The feed forward, almost intercepted by Hinton. Tipped out of bounds, will stay with the Saints.
Oh, man, and that pass was right in Hinton's hands. It seemed like Wilson just kind of threw it forward and just missed his man.
In and out game, blocked away by Harbert. What a move there. Now Hinton has the ball going quickly here, goes inside, gives it to Blodgett in the corner. His foot was on the line, and we have a turnover for these Titans. A 5-2 lead early in the early going for the Saints. 18:30 left to go in the period. Wilson with the ball, face guarded by Blodgett, takes a screen, runs himself into a double team, and now he's out of trouble. Wilson dumps it off. Vaughn has it, drives paint, puts up the shot, blocked away. What a defense there. Now San Germano has it in space, going quickly here. Hezzy moves the paint and gets the foul.
And tough defense coming here from the Titans right there. That's already 2 blocks so far, and we've barely started the game. We've 2 minutes in, and they've already got 2 blocks. And now free throws coming up after that foul.
San Germano, a 74% free throw shooter. Last game versus Mount Hood, he put up 15 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Drains that first free throw. Get his first points of the night. The Saints do lead the conference in fouls per game, so if you're a Titans fan, you should be seeing a lot of white jerseys at the free throw line. Now the Saints going quickly here. Vaughn lost the handle, has to reset. Wanted to give it to Wilson, but instead keeps it. Works through a Fowler screen, dumps it off to the far wing, pulls up for three. That one off back rim won't go. Hampton on the shot attempt. San Germano the rebound. Will take it up himself here. Dumps to Blodgett, back to Blackmore. Will slow down the offense.
It was good defense right there from Hinton, or from Blackmore, excuse me, on the shot contest as he takes a three right here.
Blackmore the step back, won't go. Harbert collects the rebound, finds himself alone on the wing, 4-3, back rim won't go. Hinton almost will corral that one. Now Wilson has the size mismatch on Blackmore, goes to the rim, gets the roll. Wilson's first points of the game extend the lead, 7-4. Blackmore orchestrating. Back in the hands of Blackmore. Now it's to Hinton. Gives to San Germano. Dumps to Harbert, who thought three, but instead will give to Blodgett. Blodgett will take a three now. That one, nothing but net for Kai Blodgett. Just a 15% three-point shooter. He gets that one to go on his sophomore day.
Yeah, and it looks like the Saints were surprised. I don't think they expected him to pull it on that one.
Hampton working in and around a Fowler screen, dumps it off. Now Vaughn has it, guarded by San Germano. Blodgett trying to jump the route, ends up in the hands of Wilson. Picks up the dribble, back to Vaughn. Working through a screen. Kicks out, Fowler, three-pointer. Off the mark, won't go. Fighting for the rebound, and Sorensen puts up the shot. Shot clock violation. The ball never touched the rim. Sorensen couldn't get it up in time. And a turnover for the Saints.
And that entire possession was capped off right there by Riley San Germano playing incredible defense on that three-point shot. I mean, he had his hand all up in the shooter's face.
Harbert will drive to the basket, puts it up over the outstretched arms of Fowler, gets the roll. Titans take their first lead of the game, 9-7. Wilson double team into the backcourt, dumps it off to Vaughn, who's got space. Back to Wilson, who resets, 19 on the shot clock. Working through a Fowler screen, dribbles himself into a double team, spins out of it, pulls up for a free throw line jumper, cannot get the roll to go. Blackmore has it, the feed forward to Blodgett. Blodgett driving basket, up under move, and gets it off the glass. Kai Blodgett in transition, finds the net. Fowler has it, gives to Vaughn, trying to dump it off, and he does. Now this is Hampton, guarded by Blackmore, feed inside to Hampton. Fowler dumps in the corner. Wilson wide open for three. That one's off the mark, won't go. Hinton collects the rebound. It's a 2-on-3. Hinton dribbles it around. Out to San Germano, back inside to Harbert, who gets it and does not get the roll. Bounced on the rim and drained out. Now Hampton's going quickly here. Shimmy shake and almost blocked away, but got it to go.
I'm surprised right there. It looked like he had his hand all over that ball before it went in, but somehow finds its way in. But good offense coming in from both sides so far.
Titans still have a 2-point lead. Hinton has it, shakes, spins his way to the rim, gets it to go. What a move there from Devin Hinton. These Titans are feeling themselves.
And see, what's interesting is Kai Blodgett makes a lot of space with his spin moves, but right there you can see there wasn't that much space. He just snuck right past the defender.
Wilson's double team in the backcourt, stripped by Harbert, last touched by a Titan. We're going to get a timeout here. When we come back for on-court play, it will be Saints ball, but these Titans are swinging.
Yeah, and you can hear it in the crowd's energy right there. I mean, we're only about 5 minutes into this game, and they are just explosive, cheering. Just once that ball went out of bounds, even though the Saints are going to have possession, they were just explosive because they know that they are putting a lot of pressure on this offense, and especially Will Wilson, who, like you mentioned, was so potent on offense for the Saints all this season. So far, just 2 points.
Only 2 points in the first 5 minutes for Wilson. Again, he leads the conference in points per game with 27.0 points per game. For the game, I was down there with the coaching staff, and I said, hey, Will Wilson, this is some crazy numbers. And they did not have enough good things to say about Will Wilson. Described him as a positive influence, a positive player to have on the court, helps those around him. and I can vouch personally, it's a pleasure to watch in the early going here, but the Titans doing a great job defensively here. They are locked in, shorthanded, this Titan squad. Again, Will Pluma in street clothes tonight, unable to play due to that right shoulder injury. C.J. Edwards, the head coach here, when I've spoken with him, describes the season simply as, hey, we're building something. And they are. This is a team that fights the whole way through. Inbound goes to Vaughn. Spins it to Hampton, drives basket, stripped away by Blackmore. I think we've all seen the growth from Javon Blackmore on defense, and Wayne Hampton will head to the bench here, holding that right shoulder. Will be quickly replaced by Darrigan Stevens. Inbound, tipped away, controlled by Harbert. Full court pass, cross court pass to Blackmore over his outstretched arms.
And so Hampton now, who just went to the bench, just walked out of the gym. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened. It seemed like he was moving his arm a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll be able to come back in.
Yeah, holding that right shoulder. Hope he's okay. Play resumes on the court. Vaughn has it dumped inside to Stevens, guarded by Blackmore. Gives it outside to Wilson. And he sees it swarms of hands every time he touches the ball. Right now he's guarded by Harvard, gives it up. Vaughn has it. Nice move to the bucket. Gets that one to go. Blackmore collects their inbound quickly and will go and slow it down. Two-man game with Harbor. Back to Blackmore. Here comes the Hinton screen. Blackmore goes left, puts up an awkward shot, and somehow gets it to go. Blackmore finds the bottom of the bucket there. Now Wilson face guarded by Blodgett. Working through a screen, splits the man, through Hinton, around, over the top, and gets that one good. He moved past three tight defenders in that possession.
Yeah, nice move right there. Like I was talking about earlier, he's very tall, 6'4". He's able to just get such distance on his strides.
Blackmore scores quickly here. The Titans are holding on to a lead. The last two games, the Titans have fallen behind early, crawled back, had second half leads before ultimately losing. Wilson runs out of space, kicks it out. Vaughn driving on, San Germano blocked away. That might have been Blackmore. The full court pass to Blodgett, going up off the rim and gets that one. Blodgett in transition scores. Timeout will be called by the Saints. 12:46 left to go in the period. 19-13, the Titans are on top.
Yeah, and it's been a great offensive showing here from the Titans. I mean, like you mentioned, at times they've been struggling, but right now it looks like they are on top of everything, firing off on all cylinders. And on a night like this, to honor your sophomores, it's exactly what you want to see.
Well, they've come out swinging here, shooting 8 of 13 from the field in the early going game's leading scorer, Kai Blodgett. 4 of 4 from the field, including a three-pointer. They've been able to feed him in transition. Kai Blodgett has really exploded onto the scene here. Played extremely well off the bench. And now, thrust into the starting lineup. Has done well. He scored a season high of 23 versus Clark off the bench. His last game versus Mount Hope was a quiet one, just 2 points. He now has 9 on the day. He will stay out there. We're going to see our first junior Leggy minutes. Leggy onto the court in replacement of Trayson Harbert. Leggy, a freshman from Minnesota. Trying to get the ball to Wilson or the Saints. They're running out of time, so instead they find Hayward. Give and take, back inside. Shot will not count as Vaughn was hacked on the way to the basket. Great ball denial to get the ball out of Wilson's hands. Instead they give up an early foul here. Foul on the floor, so not a shooting foul. No free throws. Inside pass goes to Robinson, who puts up a wild shot. That won't go. Leggy fighting for the rebound. This one's tipped out of bounds off of Robinson. The freshman from St. Helens seeing his first minutes of the game.
And Leggy was doing a great job right there, playing physical on the defense, not being scared to back away, getting his hands up, getting physical, and that's the reason that shot just went wild.
Blackmore gives it up. San Germano pulls for three, leaves that one short. Rebound Saints. Wilson has it. Here comes Blodgett, who's doing the primary defensive duty, working through a Hayward screen. Wilson fires one to the far corner, somehow makes it there. Stevens back inside. Fowler working, backing down Hinton. A lot of contact, no call. Shot will not go, and rebound controlled by Blodgett, who takes off with a full head of steam here, and will slow it down. Blackmore with 20 on the shot clock. Dumps it off San Germano in the wing. Entry pass to Hinton, backing down Fowler. Spin move back inside, puts up the shot, cannot get it to go. Rebound loose and now controlled by Fowler. Swung around, ends up in the hands of Wilson. Goes straight to the bucket, a lot of contact, gets it, and the foul.
He had two defenders draped like a wall in front of him, and he not only gets fouled, but is somehow to get through the defenders, get the ball up to the rim, and in for the points. How does he do it?
Gerard Foreman will check into the game for Riley San Germano. Wilson will step to the line, an 85% free throw shooter. And we're going to say this again and again, but you're going to see why he leads the conference in scoring. Puts it up, and it's good. Cuts the lead down to 3. Titans have the ball with that 3-point lead. Blackmore now works with the Hinton screen, drives to the top of the key, loses the handle, has to regather. Fakes right, goes left, working inside, puts up a shot, catch in the back of the rim, won't go. Hinton puts it up, and he got hacked in the process as there were 3 black jerseys on him. Now Devin Hinton will step to the line.
Yeah, it's a good job right there from Hinton. It seemed like he knew exactly where the ball was going to go once it bounced off of the rim. He was in the perfect place to grab it, and he was in the middle of a sea of black jerseys. So, yeah, no wonder that he got hacked on that one.
Hinton just a 46% free throw shooter, Coming off a 14-point, 13-rebound game in the loss versus Umpqua. These two teams did play earlier in the year. On January 21st, these two teams squared off. Mount Hood came out on top in Mount Hood, 90-83. Hinton splits them. Wilson now Leggy doing the primary guarding duty. Leggy, a defensive specialist for this team. Wilson fakes right, goes left, runs out of space, spins back inside, kicks it out to Vaughn. Vaughn guarded now by Leggy, runs out of space, kicks it to the far side. Robinson dumps it back. Vaughn working in the corner with 9 on the shot clock. Vaughn drives to the bucket and gets it over the outstretched arms of Kai Blodgett. He thought he got fouled. No foul was called. The lead is down to 2. Blodgett has it. It dumps to Foreman, back to Blackmore, working in the ring. Blackmore will take a quick 3-pointer, leaves that one short. It rolls over the top of the backboard to go out of bounds.
And now that the score's 20-18, this team, or both teams, are getting real physical. I mean, you know, we saw that the Saints started out with the lead, and then the Titans were able to start scoring some more on their end, and then they built up their lead, and now here the Saints are trying to build up to get themselves back into the game. It's been fun so far. I'm excited to see where else it goes.
Vaughn working with a Sorensen screen, now with a Wilson screen. That frees Wilson with the ball, face guarded by Leggy. Will drive inside, almost stripped away, catches back that pass, puts up a shot, that won't go. Now Blackmore working in space here. Gives to Blodgett, working in the wing, will step back 2-pointer, catches back rim. Now Wilson has it. Work with a full head of steam against Foreman. A little Euro step there, up and puts it in. A physical move there by the sophomore.
And it looked like that was a football-esque move. It looked like he trucked right into Foreman. He had to get out of the way because, I mean, I don't want to be standing in front of Wilson when he's doing that.
Hinton has it at the elbow, kicks it outside for Foreman. He'll take a 3-pointer. That one will not go. Rebound Robinson. The give to Vaughn. Entry pass to Sorensen, guarded by Hinton. Trying to get rid of it. Looking for the handoff, instead to go for a backdoor cut to Vaughn, who positions himself perfectly. Great patience to let Blackmore fly by him. Vaughn scores.
Vaughn's been so efficient under the rim. It seems like anytime he's there with the ball, it's going to find its way into the net somehow.
Blackmore standing on the logo, waiting for the timeout, and the timeout will be called 9:14 left to go in the period. Titans want to talk this one over as they now trail by 2. They led just a couple moments ago.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, it seems like their defense has been playing well. I mean, sure that you can say they gave up their lead and now that the Saints are leading, but every time that the Saints have possession, they aren't getting easy shots. None of their buckets are coming from wide open looks. I mean, there's always a Titans defender somewhere there. They're always contesting, and dare I say contesting it well, but it just seems like the Saints are finding just the right open spot. Will Wilson, I mean, after saying that he only had 2 points, he's up to 9 now on 4 of 7 shooting. Vaughn right behind him with 6.
Wilson and Vaughn doing their damage on the offensive side of the ball. Davey Burdett will check into the game for the first time. Burdett, Blackmore, Harbert, Blodgett, and Hinton, the 5. It's a bigger lineup than normal with Blodgett, Harbert, and Hinton all on the floor. Blackmore and Burdett, the 2 guards.
And now for the Saints, Wayne Hampton is checking back in. He's got a wrap all over his right shoulder, but for the most part, it seems like he's good to continue playing.
Good to see him back in the game, but that right shoulder is heavily taped. It seems to be moving well with it. Burdett, the inbound, gives to Blackmore with 18 on the shot clock. Outside to Harbert, the handoff to Blackmore. Working in and around a Hinton screen, the pick and roll, and we will get an offensive foul there. They're going to get Devin Hinton for a moving screen. He doesn't understand the call, but that'll be the 4th foul of the game on the Titans.
Yeah, comparatively, the Titans have been having a lot more foul trouble than the Saints, and that might come back to bite them later in this half.
Again, the Saints do lead the conference in fouls per game, but right now it's a 4-2 advantage in favor of the Saints as far as fouls go. Wilson guarded by Blodgett. Inside to Sorensen. Guarded by Hinton. And kicked out to Hampton. Again, seeing his first action since leaving the game with an apparent right shoulder injury. It's now heavily taped, but he's dribbling fine with it. Fired to Sorensen with 4 in the shot clock. Outside to Wilson. He's got to create something. He'll take a deep 3-pointer. Leaves that one short. Rebound controlled by Kai Blodgett.
And see, that's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. It took the whole shot clock for the Saints to even get a shot off.
Burdett dribbles himself into a corner, into a double team, fires a pass, intercepted easily by Wilson. Blackmore backpedaling. Wilson goes all the way to the bucket, up and under, and gets that one to go. Blackmore now trying to fight against a 4-point deficit. Gives to Burdett, swung to Harbert, outside to Blodgett. Working in and around a Harbert screen. Ends up in the hands of Burdett, who drives paint. Jump stop, puts up a wild shot, can't get to go, and an offensive foul will be called on Davey Burdett, who cleared out a defender on the way to the bucket.
Yeah, and I mean, tough physicality right there coming from Burdett, but a little too much. You can't have a foul there. We were just talking about how they're at foul trouble, or starting to get towards foul trouble. Here they are now at 5 fouls in just the first half, whereas the Saints only have 2.
Sandramano will check in relief of Burdett. Vaughn now working against San Germano. Takes it back out. Dribbles back to the top of the 3-point line. Outside, a 3-pointer for Robinson. That one's well off the mark. Rebound by Harbert. Forward pass to Blodgett. Working against Sorensen. Back out to San Germano. It's a 2-man game. Ends up with Harbert in the corner. Blodgett drives bucket. Runs out of space. Tries to get rid of it, but will be fouled. They're going to get Patrick Robinson on the infraction.
Yeah, and he was wrapped up right there. Robinson and Sorensen kind of double teaming him. It was a little tough shot. It looked like he was trying to get it to kick it back out into the left corner for Harbert. He was wide open there, but fouled before he could do so. If you're on defense, that's kind of a smart foul.
Hinton in the elbow, gives inside to Harbert, fires one inside to Blodgett. Reset with 13 on the shot clock. Blackmore has it. Gives outside Harbert, a quick 3-pointer. That one finds the net. Trayson Harbert drains a 3. His first 3 of the day.
I'm not quite sure. I don't know if you caught what the referee said, Levi, but it looked like the ref was talking to the Titans. I don't think it was a foul, but I'm wondering what it was.
Might have been some sort of warning. Either way, play continues. Hampton has it. Give to the corner with Vaughn. Vaughn will pull up for 3. That one rattles in. Cameron Vaughn returns the favor. The deficit is still 4 for the Titans. Blackmore fakes right, goes left all the way to the bucket, puts up a shot, draws the foul.
And yeah, like you mentioned, good way to answer back for Vaughn right there, right in the corner where Harbert was on the previous play before. And these two teams are going blow for blow, it seems like. None of them seem to be able to jump out to a sizable lead.
These teams trading haymakers. Mount Hood fighting for a playoff spot in the final game of the season. Laying out of the playoff picture, but still fighting the whole way. Blackmore will step to the line. He's a 58% free throw shooter. That one rims out. It's Blackmore's first trip to the line tonight. And he goes 0 for on the trip. Hinton fighting for the rebound. Hinton and Fowler going back and forth. This one will stay with the Titans. Hinton, an excellent offensive and defensive rebounder, able to fight that one out of bounds. Blackmore will check out. Foreman will check in. Foreman inbounds to Hinton. Ends up in the hands of Harbert, who hit that three. Now back to Blodgett. 12 in the shot clock, spins into the elbow. Entry pass to Hinton. Hesitation, puts up a wild shot, and a travel will be called on Devin Hinton.
Yeah, tough call right there. I mean, you know, he was so close to the basket. He's always so efficient right there. Just one more extra stab, that one's got to hurt the Titans.
6:30 left to go in the period. It's a 4-point deficit for the Titans. Sorensen inbounds and finds Vaughn deep in the backcourt. Wilson still on the bench. Vaughn working, taking his time, pounding the rock. Gives it up to Fowler, who tries to give it up. Now back to Hampton, loses the handle, able to collect. Hesitation, kicks back out. Sorensen, a three-pointer. That one rims out, tipped away by Hinton, controlled by Blodgett, who's going quickly here. Blodgett drives all the way to the bucket, gets a shot up that will not go, but a foul will be called.
Yeah, and you know what I really like about the Titans so far is that anytime they get a defensive rebound, they are pushing the pace incredibly fast. Like they're trying to catch the Saints off guard, and you know, even though they're unable to convert points right there, they're forced to foul, or you know, not forced to foul, but happen to foul because of how fast they're going, and that might be able to get them in this game. Currently, they're still trailing by 4, but 2 free throws coming up might be able to cut that down.
Blodgett hits the first. Blodgett, a 63% free throw shooter. Leggy checks in to send Hinton to the bench. Titans and Saints both have about the same statistical offense as far as points per game. The Titans 77, the Saints 78, the bottom half of their conference. Second free throw is no good. Rebound control by Sorensen. Hampton double team in the backcourt, gives it up. Vaughn working quickly here. He dribbles himself into a double team, gives it up. Cross-court pass goes to Fowler, back into the hand of Hampton, who resets 15 in the shot clock. Working on a Fowler screen, spins back inside, underhanded scoop shot, does not get the roll, but that shoulder certainly does look good. Again, heavily taped. Leggy will take it up himself, gives it up to Blodgett. Back to Foreman, swung to Harbert, makes a three, drives inside, puts a high arcing shot up. That will not go. Saints control. Hampton, double team, he gives it up. Inside out, back to Hampton, who was stripped away by Harbert. This will stay with the Saints with 21 on the shot clock.
And the Titans trying to claw themselves back into this. Just down by 3 now. They got to prevent the Saints from scoring more.
And Kai Blodgett jumped the passing lane, goes all the way to the bucket, and gets the roll. Defense into offense for Kai Blodgett. Vaughn guarded by Leggy. Will take it to his left, into that left wing. Drives back inside, runs out of options, takes it back out, trying to get inside Sorensen, and he loses it. A foul will be called. I believe they're going to get Trayson Harbert for holding Sorensen. Vaughn was trying to find Sorensen's side. Harbert and Sorensen were hand fighting inside. That could have ended up as a turnover. Instead, we're going to get a foul on Sorensen and a timeout. 4:46 left to go in the half. Titans trailing by 1.
And, you know, it's really interesting because these teams are playing at a pretty similar pace so far in this first half. I mean, in terms of shooting percentages, the Saints 12 of 27, 44%. The Titans 10 of 22, that's 45%. 3 points where the differences kind of are. The Saints so far 1 of 7, that's only 14%. And the Titans 2 of 8, 25%. So a little better, but not by too much.
And the three-point shooting is going to be key here. The Titans have the 30th best three-point shooting percentage in the conference. The Saints the 6th best, so a pretty sizable difference there between these two squads. But today, both squads not shooting particularly well from 3, and that's contributing to this tight game as the Saints only have a 1-point lead here. Both teams relatively even on turnovers as well.
Pretty much every stat you can look at, they're within 1 or 2 of. Total rebounds, 14 for the Titans, 12 for the Saints. In terms of turnovers, 4 for the Titans, 3 for the Saints. Right, you know, fouls, 6 for the Titans, 5 for the Saints. You know, they've been going at it head-to-head, very physical throughout this entire matchup. And, you know, it's going to be decided by 1, maybe 2 plays towards the end of this one, unless either team slips up.
Will Wilson back on the court for the Saints. He already has 11 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Has missed both of his three-pointers tonight. Saints to inbound. Dump to Wilson, who can't control it. It goes behind his back, ends up in the hands of Harbert, who finds Ledgy in an awkward pass. Ledgy going all the way to the bucket here. Can't get it to go. 2 men fighting for the rebound on the same team. And the ball ends up in the hands of Vaughn. A foul will be called. An ugly fast break possession there, as Blodgett and Foreman were both fighting for the same rebound off of Ledgy's miss.
Yeah, you know, a little miscommunication there. They were both following the ball off that play, which is exactly what you want to do. But, you know, you have to decide, take the team into account. You know, sometimes you don't have to be the one to go if your teammate's right there. A little miscommunication.
They are in the bonus, so Vaughn will step to the free throw line. A 63% free throw shooter. First free throw trip of the night. He hits his first. Head coach Alex Seum was giving some very physical demonstration there to William Chen, demonstrating what appeared to be a box out. Some people are motion learners.
I mean, that's what a coach does. He coaches his players.
A foul will be called against the Saints. Coach Seum, his first season here as the head coach, previously coached in Singapore and East Africa, and prior to this was a coach at Clackamas. Head coach Seum now discussing loudly with the referees. There appears to be some discussion of what's going on. What was the call?
I think a technical was assessed. I didn't see the who, but I didn't even quite see what even happened. I'm not sure what the technical was for, but I'm sure the Titans are happy to see it.
Kai Blodgett will step to the line to take this free throw.
They're going to call the technical on Fowler.
And Fowler did head straight to the bench, so whatever he said or did, he has some time to cool off here. Blodgett hits that first, a chance to tie the game here. The Saints holding a huddle on midcourt, regathering. Blodgett hits them both. This game is tied up at 28 apiece. Hinton checks in, sending Ledgy to the bench. Now the Titans, after those technical free throws, have a chance to take the lead here with 4:30 left to go in the half. Foreman the handoff to Harbert, back to Foreman. Working with the San Germano screen, rejects it, drives baseline, back outside. Harbert, 4-3. That one, nothing but net for Trayson Harbert.
8 points now for Harbert.
Wilson's going real quick here, drives all the way to the bucket, almost blocked away, and another miscommunication there as Blodgett, Hinton both went up for the rebound and swatted it out of bounds. This will stay with the Titans after that Wilson miss.
And so similar to the play we saw earlier, you like to see that everyone on the team is going for the ball, going for the rebounds, but you know, you still have to be disciplined. You have to know that if your teammate's there, you don't swat it away from him. And, you know, they have the lead now, but they're going to have to cut back these mistakes if they want to hold on to it.
Titans a 3-point lead. Hampton inbounds. It gives it to Vaughn. Drives in San Germano, spins back inside, puts up a wild shot. That won't go, but Wilson, what a putback there as he cocked that one behind his head, put it up and in.
Yeah, he grabbed it with one hand in the air and shot it, and it goes in. Wow, what a shot.
Foreman bounce pass to Harbord, back inside to Hinton, who loses the handle, has to back down Sorensen now, working baseline. Chen comes to help, dumps outside Harbord, a quick three-pointer from the corner. That one rims out and rebound controlled by Wilson.
And Harbord's been so good from three. A bit of a shaky decision to take it right there. He had a defender right in his face.
Wilson shaking Blodgett. Cross-court pass to Sorensen was tipped away and now ends up in the hands of San Germano, who finds Foreman working quickly here, and Foreman will take it back out. Back to Harbord, who's fired often from three in this game. Gives to San Germano, back to Foreman, 15 in the shot clock as they reset the offense. Now it's Harbord driving inside, runs himself into a double team, puts up an awkward jumper. That won't go. Hinton controls the rebound, puts up a shot, and he gets the foul to go inside.
And there we go. Like we always said, we said it all season, always so efficient right there in the paint. They're converting or getting fouled on the shot, able to get the 2 points. Now attempting to convert the and one and build upon this lead even further.
Hinton's such a monster off the glass, both offensively and defensively. I mean, he has cleaned up so many of his teammates' mistakes and misses throughout the year, continues to do so. He's 5th in the conference on rebounds per game with just under 10. Misses that free throw. Lead stays at 4. Saints going quickly here, but intercepted by Foreman, who jumped that passing lane. Now Harbord has it, feeds it forward to Blodgett, loses the handle, slows it down, dumps it back to Harbord, who resets. It's not often you see lineups without Blackmore or Burdett in the court, but Foreman doing some handling here. Ends up in the hands of San Germano, pulls up for a free throw line jumper, rattles that one in. San Germano gets his points to go.
Yeah, his first field goal of the game. He had 2 free throws in earlier, now he's at 4 points.
Vaughn dumps to Sorensen, ends up with Robinson. Excuse me, that was not Robinson. Swung back around, Sorensen inside, spin move, puts up a shot over Hinton, rims out and then back in. It's Trey Barber early in that play. You see his first action of the night. Foreman will dribble this one up. Works with a Hinton screen. Drives to the paint, kicks it. San Germano, far point, three-pointer. Won't go, but Hinton controls the rebound. Guarded by Wilson. Bounce pass to Foreman. And an offensive foul will be called as Foreman's shoulder put Cameron Vaughn on the ground.
And Vaughn right there, able to set his feet, took the charge right there. Good team play, but you know, I do want to highlight, that was a great pass right there from Hinton. He had his back towards the paint, able to still get the pass inside to his man.
Hampton will dribble this one up, guarded by Harbord. 1:45 left to go in the period. Gives to Wilson. Trying to get rid of it, Vasettil keeping himself, working against Blodgett, drives inside the paint, spins back baseline, hesitation, puts up a shot, and gets it to go. The lane bench wants to travel. They won't get it. Instead, we'll get handed 2 points, courtesy of Will Wilson. Now San Germano in the corner. The drive, a little hesitation move, waits for Everton to run past him, puts up a floater, and that's good.
Smart pump fake right there to get the defenders out of his way.
Wilson guarded by Blodgett. Behind the back pass, but intercepted by Foreman. It's a 1-on-2 fast break. Foreman goes the whole direction, puts it up, and it's good. Defense and offense for Gerard Foreman. Saints going quickly here, and Vaughn will score through a sea of defenders. Foreman a chance to respond with 53 left in the period. The give to Hinton, trying to get rid of it, finds Blodgett. Jump stop, puts up a running shot that could have been called a travel. Gets it to go, and a timeout will be called after that Blodgett 2-pointer.
Yeah, good move right there from Blodgett. He got it right there outside the paint, able to take just the right steps to get in between the defenders, get it right to the net, and here they are building upon their lead. Like I mentioned, you know, they needed to capitalize, and so far I think the Titans have.
Titans have a 5-point lead with 42.1 left to go in the first half. Saints called a timeout. Will Wilson up to 15 points, but it feels like a quiet 15. It hasn't like he's been controlling the game. You kind of look down and said, oh, wow, he's 7 of 12 from the field for 15 points. He is the game's second leading scorer, the game's leading scorer. The guy who just scored, Kai Blodgett, 6 of 8 from the floor, including a three-pointer. 3 of 4 from the charity stripe. He also chipped in 4 rebounds. He's been having himself a really nice game.
Yeah, it's been, like I've talked about earlier, it's been competitive in pretty much every aspect, in scoring, in rebounding, in assists, in fouls, turnovers. I mean, just everywhere you look, these teams have been going neck and neck with each other.
Inbound ends up at the hands of Vaughn, guarded by Harbert. Looking to get it to Wilson, unable to do so, so he'll keep it. Wilson taking some contact there, dumps into the hands of Wilson. Near side corner, puts him a three-pointer. He's now 0 for 3 on the night from distance.
Yeah, Tides have been putting a lot of pressure on him from the perimeter.
He's a 40% three-point shooter, but shot clock is turned off. Blackmore has it. 14 left. Dribbles this one out. He wants the last shot. Here comes the Hinton screen, this pick and roll. Instead of a Harbert screen. Blackmore will drive right, puts him a wild shot, and will draw the foul. Never mind, offensive foul. As Blackmore drove rim, was a little too physical. 4.0 left in the clock. Saints ball.
Yeah, I'm surprised he took it right there. Yes, San Germano over in the right corner. I expected him to drive inside to suck the defenders away, to kick it back out for a 3 to end the quarter, or to end the half, excuse me. But, you know, interesting take right there.
Hampton gives it to Wilson with a full head of steam, goes behind the back, puts up a deep three-pointer, and leaves that one short. We'll head to halftime, 41-36. The Titans fighting for their pride, going against the Saints, fighting for a playoff spot. The Titans have a 5-point lead. They have to feel real good about that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I mentioned, we just talked about it in the previous timeout, but they've been going head-to-head in pretty much every category in terms of scoring, in terms of assists, in terms of turnovers and rebounds. Pretty much everything has been very similar. But here, the Titans have been able to capitalize on the Saints' mistakes, and you got to be feeling good going into halftime with the lead.
The game's leading scorer is Kai Blodgett, 16 points. Other double-digit scorers, Will Wilson, again, the conference's leading scorer. He has 15 on the night. Cameron Vaughn, 12. We'll head to halftime here in about 14 minutes. We'll be back on this stream. Titans hold on to a 5-point lead here in Eugene. Welcome back to Eugene, Oregon. My name is Levi Berkfield. I am joined by Jacob Salau. We are just about to start the second half of Lane basketball versus Mount Hood. Lane on top 41-36. These two teams seem to be pretty evenly matched, Jacob, and they seem to be trading punches throughout the majority of the first half.
Yeah, both teams are led by someone in the double digits. Will Wilson, who we've talked about extensively in this one, is currently leading the Saints with 15 points on 7 of 14 shooting. He's added on 5 rebounds as well, tied for his team most. And on the other end, Kai Blodgett, the one matched up mostly against Will Wilson, has 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting, one of them coming from 3, and 4 rebounds for him as well. It's been very, very close for both these teams.
Wilson leading the conference in scoring. The Saints fighting for a playoff spot today. And now Harbor jumps the pass lane, fighting with Sorensen. Sorensen able to collect 15 in the shot clock, gives it up to Hampton. Working against Blackmore. Hampton will pull up for a three-pointer, leaves that one short. Rebound Blodgett. Blodgett going quickly here, fires a pass to Sanjamanu, who almost loses it. Has to throw it deep in the backcourt for Blodgett. Gives up to Blackmore, who resets.
That pass was angry coming from Blodgett. My goodness, it had some heat on that one.
Now Blackmore working against Hampton, gives it up to Harbert, back to Blackmore. Looking to hand off to Blodgett. 9 in the shot clock. Blodgett working against Sorensen, drives inside, puts up a shot, cannot get the roll, but gets his own miss. His foot was on the bound. He never established possession. That'll be Saints ball.
A nice try right there from Blodgett to try to get the offensive rebound, but, just unlucky placement of the feet.
Sorensen to inbound. Fowler gives it up back to Hampton, who again working with that heavily taped right shoulder from an injury he suffered in the first half. Big man moves inside. Hinton able to hold his ground. Fowler the miss. Now Blodgett working quickly here. Working around a Hinton screen. Drives to the top of the free throw line. Puts up a shot. Does not get the roll. This is Wilson's first touch of the second half. Guarded by Blodgett. He'll pull up for a quick three-pointer. Leaves that one short. Wilson now 0 for 5 in the night from 3. He's an 40% three-point shooter on the season. 42% on the season, 0 for 5 tonight. Sanjamanu fakes right, goes left, spin moves back inside, little fadeaway jumper there. Gets it to go. Vaughn working against Blackmore. Bounce pass 2. It's it back in the hands of Vaughn. Fakes right, goes left against Harbert. Spin move back inside, puts up the floater. Can't get it to drop. Blackmore now going quickly here. Blackmore drives all the way inside, runs out of space, kicks to the far side. Blodgett thought 3 and said he'll drive baseline, puts it up and gets it. Blodgett extends his grip on the game scoring leader. He's having himself quite a game.
That was a great court vision right there to find Blodgett even in the corner. And a good move right there from him to get the points.
Hampton went against Blodgett. Blodgett came out on top, has the ball, fakes right, goes left, little underhand scoop shot to Harbert, who was there for a wide open layup. And just like that, the Titans have an 11-point lead with 17 minutes left to go in the game. The Saints call a timeout.
Yeah, great job right there from Blodgett all around, both on offense and on defense. Right there, he's been very physical on defense, contesting shots already to start the second half. And on offense, what else can we say? He's scored the last 2 buckets, and he's been doing a great job of doing so.
Blodgett scored a season high of 23 versus Clark a couple of games ago. He's already up to 18 points with 17 minutes left to go in the game. For those of you who missed the pregame celebrations, it's sophomore night here in Eugene. 3 sophomores were honored pregame. Devin Hinton, Kai Blodgett, and Riley Sanjamanu.
Yeah, and they're really showing out tonight to celebrate that. Like we just talked about, 47-36 is their lead. The first half was back-to-back blows for blows between both of these teams. And now the Titans are starting to try to pull away.
And the Saints, now it's their turn to respond. The 3 of the top 4 leading scorers for these Titans tonight are those 3 sophomores, Sanjamanu, Hinton, and Blodgett. The other 4th member of that team right now is Harbert, the freshman, a local Eugene kid, played at Marist High. Hampton to inbound. Gives it to Wilson. Will take it off himself. Wilson, despite the 15 points, still looking to find a rhythm here. Will dribble inside, take it back out, pounding the rock. Fakes left, goes right, all the way inside, stripped away by Blackmore. Sandramano comes up with it. What a defensive play there by Javon Blackmore. This is Blackmore, spins back inside, puts up a shot, and gets the roll to go. Defense into offense for Blackmore.
Ooh, coast to coast. You can't stop him. He gets the steal and the point. Great job all around right there.
Vaughn gives it up to Fowler. Back outside to Vaughn. Hampton. Hampton driving inside, loses the handle, and a foul will be called. Edwards cannot believe the call on the sideline. But that'll send Hampton to the free throw line. They're going to get Harbert on that one. And never mind, they will call that foul before the shot attempt. So it will be an inbounds pass. Inbound goes to Vaughn. Back to Hampton in the corner, working against Blackmore. Backs him down all the way to the bucket and stripped again. And a foul will be called again on Blackmore.
And that's now their 10th foul in this game. They had 8 in the first half. And, I mean, you know, the Saints had 8 as well, to be fair. But now they're already up at 10. And, you know, as much as you want to play physically, you can't keep letting them get free throws like this.
They're going against the Saints, who lead the conference in fouls per game. Hampton misses that first free throw. He's a 70% free throw shooter. First trip to the line tonight was Blackmore's second foul. Hampton splits his trip. Inbound goes to Blackmore, three-quarter court pressure. Blackmore able to get rid of it to Blodgett. Fires one Sandramano in the corner, back to Blodgett. Now Blackmore will reset the offense with 17 on the shot clock. Dribbles to his right and gives to Harbert, who thought three. He hit a couple threes in the first half. Instead gives to Blodgett. Underhanded scoop shot won't go, and that's because he was fouled by Robinson. Coming off the bench, Patrick Robinson did not play in the last matchup versus Lane, but commits that foul. These two teams played earlier in the year on January 21st. They played, and Mount Hood came out on top at home, 90-83.
And Blodgett so far 75% on his free throws tonight.
Leaves that first one short. Lead is 8 points for the Titans. Misses them both, but Hinton gets the rebound. Can't miss the point, but can't hit the point blank shot. Rebound ends up in the hands of Wilson, who's going real quick here. Euro step to the bucket. Does not get the roll, but gets the foul. There's a wild scramble for that rebound, and Wilson came out with it. Sandramano gets called for the infraction.
And now to see if Will Wilson can convert on his free throws.
Wilson, an 85% free throw shooter on the year.
He made his only other one tonight, and there he goes with the first one.
Wilson cuts the lead down to 10. Blackmore gives it up to Blodgett. More three-quarter court pressure from the Saints. Blackmore able to get past the midcourt easily and fouled by Vaughn. Looks like they just ran into each other there.
Yeah, it looked like they wanted to. The Saints wanted to set some kind of double team, you know, and just kind of a bit too close, ran into him, and get called on the foul.
Sandramano in the corner, guarded by Wilson. Drives inside, kicks outside Blodgett, who thought three, but instead will drive baseline, runs out in space, gives it to Sandramano in the corner for three. A high arcing shot, rims out, but rebound controlled by Harbert somehow, some way, and he kicks it out back to Harbert for three. That one rims out. Hinton fighting for the rebound, and we're going to get a held ball here. Wilson and Hinton got tied up there.
And they're going to call this, and so possession is going to remain with the Titans.
Inbound goes to Blodgett in the corner. Kicked out. It ends up in the hands of Blackmore, the logo with 13 in the shot clock. Dribbling this one around, working with a Harbert screen. Drives paint and will get fouled before the shot attempt. The pace of this game has slowed down considerably as these teams trade fouls.
And so now the Saints have tied the Titans with how many fouls they've had this quarter. But overall, still, the Titans have one more foul than them, but both teams very physical in this one.
Harbert face guarded, gives up to San Germano, back to Hinton in the elbow, drives inside, loses the handle, comes up with the 10 on the shot clock. Back outside to Blackmore. Working with a Hinton screen, he'll drive to his left, gives outside, San Germano a deep three-pointer, and that one goes for Riley San Germano from way downtown. Saints going quickly here. Hampton has it, drives baseline, reverse shot out of the bucket, won't go. Vaughn trying to put it back. Blackmore comes up with it. He's got it. He's got space and numbers. We'll slow it down, and he traveled in the process. A jump stop by Blackmore. He dragged his feet. He can't believe it. Infraction still called, and a timeout will be called as well. 14:39 left to go in the game. The Titans holding on to a 13-point lead here, 52-39.
Yeah, and as close as it was in this first half, it feels like the offense for the Titans is starting to pull away. I mean, it seems like the defense for the Saints, while they can get some stops sometimes, they can't consistently hold the Titans to prevent them from scoring. And even if the Saints are able to go down to the other end and score, the Titans are able to answer back almost immediately.
Well, as good as the Titans' offense has been, the Saints' offense has been a complete no-show in the second half. Over the last 5 minutes and 21 seconds, they have scored 3 points. Just 3 points. They are 1 of 11 from distance. Keep in mind, this is a team that shoots 72% on the year. That is 6th best in the conference, and yet they are shooting 9% from three-point tonight. Compare that to the Titans, 4-14, which is just slightly below their season average. They're shooting 28% tonight, 29% on the year. So Titans are about batting their average, but the Saints have been completely mismatched from distance. And I didn't think we'd go into tonight talking, criticizing Will Wilson at all, but he is 0 for 5 from 3. Now, one of those was a into the half kind of Hail Mary shot. So even if you want to call it 0 for 4, he still is 0 for 4 from distance tonight.
Yeah, it just seems like that the Titans, whatever their game plan was to defend Wilson, although he can get inside and just make these impossible-looking shots go in, it seems like on the perimeter he's not able to get anything going. We don't really see him take any jumpers really from the mid-range, and obviously he hasn't made anything from the perimeter.
Kai Blodgett has been doing the primary defensive duty, and Wilson has done an excellent job tonight. Hampton will take this one up, tries to fire it, and gives it to Robinson. They're trying to get rid of it back to Hampton. In the wing, dribbles left, takes the three-pointer, leaves that one short, rebound Blodgett.
That was a good look right there for Hampton, but just unable to find the net.
Blodgett bounced pass to Blackmore. Working against Robinson. Pick and roll with Hinton, drives bucket, puts up a wild shot, and will get fouled in the process.
Yeah, tough take right there. Nice way to draw the foul and try to get some free throws to continue to add on to this lead. It feels like just a few minutes ago, both these teams were within double digits of each other, and here the lead is now 52-39 for Lane.
Blackmore steps to the line. He's 0 of 2 on the night, and he leaves that one short as well. Blackmore just a 58% free throw shooter, but 0 of 3 tonight. Robinson will check out for the Saints. I'll send Trey Barber, the freshman out of El Paso, into the game. Blackmore hits his first of the night. Inbounds will end up in the hands of Wilson. Guarded by Blodgett per usual. Goes behind the back. Working, backing down, underneath the basket. Puts up a shot, and he traveled in the process. What defense there from Kai Blodgett.
Yeah, and I was just talking about how it seems like Wilson has only been effective under the rim, and right there, Kai Blodgett stepping it up, forcing Wilson to travel.
Bounce pass goes to Blodgett in the corner, back to Blackmore. 19 on the shot clock. Blackmore dribbles it all the way around, gives it back to Blodgett, swung to Harbert, give to San Germano in the corner. Side step, 4-3, leaves that one short. Blackmore, what a move there! Rises up and tips that one in.
I Did a great job right there, getting in front of the defenders to even have a chance at that putback.
What athleticism there from Blackmore. This is Vaughn going quickly against San Germano and will get called for the foul as San Germano politely pushed him near the wall. His momentum was going one way, and San Germano just kind of helped him in the process. Vaughn will step to the line, a 63% free throw shooter. 1 of 2 tonight. Rattles that one in. That's his 13th point of the night. The team's second leading scorer. A chance to cut the lead to 14 here. And he does so. 13-18 left to go in the game. Titans with a 14-point lead.
And, you know, even though he's cutting into the deficit, they're not going to be able to do it by free throws alone. And it seems like so far that's the only offense they've been able to generate.
Inside-out game with San Germano. Blackmore blacked up Blodgett, who will take a deep three-pointer here. Leaves the one back rim. Rebound goes to Hinton, who somehow saved that one. Fires it to Blodgett. Kicked outside. San Germano for 3. That one won't go. Harbert fighting for the rebound. And this one, last touch by... They're going to get Vaughn as last touch. This will stay with the Titans. Offensive rebound for Hinton there.
Wow, the rebounding has been phenomenal for the Titans so far. Such good physicality, crashing the glass. They're currently beating the Saints in the rebounding category by 10.
San Germano face guarded, gives it up to Blodgett, back to Blackmore. Now Harbert has it. They give to Blackmore, a 2-man game. Saints working with the zone here. Blackmore will dribble inside, take a short floater, and gets that one to go. Vaughn take this one up quickly here, and we'll slow it down. Hampton, guarded by Blackmore, takes the screen, drives right, jump stop, puts up the right-handed scoop shot, rolls all the way around, and toilet bowls his way into the bucket.
That ball really was thinking about if it wanted to go in or not. It was thinking about leaving, but decided to go in.
Blackmore gives to Harbert, looking inside the zone, working well here so far. Blodgett in the wing, gives it up. Hinton back outside Blodgett. Blodgett drives a man to the ground, and a defensive foul will be called. Wayne Hampton put his body on the line, and they're going to call him for the infraction.
Yeah.
Andy came up with the worst in that context.
Wow, yeah, that was a tough call right there. I mean, you know, in the moment, I think it could have gone either way. And the rest call that one on the defense. So, you know, good chance here for the Titans to add on more to their lead.
Blodgett will check out. Foreman will check in. Referees wait for a towel as there is a small wet spot on the court right now. Blodgett, the game's leading scorer with 18 points, 7 or 12 shooting, will head to the bench. Just to give a brief shout out to that offensive rebound by Hinton there. He was in this near corner towards us, grabbed the rebound, planted both feet, then jumped out of bounds because his momentum was taking him that way to fire a two-handed pass to find Kai Blodgett, who didn't have the awareness of mind to kick it outside for a three-pointer.
Just amazing plays all around from everyone on the Titans.
Blackmore takes the inbound with 18 in the shot clock, gives up to Foreman, swung around Harbert, pump fake, puts up a three-pointer, rattles that one in. Trayson Harbert, his third three-pointer of the night.
50% from the three-point line for him. What a great job shooting tonight.
Robinson has it, gets rid of it, finds Hampton. As the Saints see the season dwindling away, puts up a three-pointer. That one will not go. Rebound, batted around, ends up in the hands of Hinton. Fires one to Blackmore. Goes bounce pass to San Germano on the fast break. Kicked outside Foreman, back outside Harbert. Gives it to Blackmore in the corner, who will reset the offense. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it around, swung around. Harbert, who thought three, but instead loses the handle, collects it. Swung around, ends up in the hands of San Germano in the corner for three. That won't go. Rebound, Hinton. And Blackmore resets with 18 on the shot clock. Harbert, a quick three-pointer. Leaves that one short, won't go. Rebound controlled by the Saints. Vaughn moving quickly here. Sidestep to the right, goes up with his right hand and gets the work done. Blackmore trying to respond. A 15-point lead for these Titans. Gives one to Foreman. Back outside to Harbert. Almost intercepted. Kick to Blackmore. Alone in the corner. Thought three, but instead decides not to. Drives bucket. Sees a lane. Goes up. And what a move there. Gets it with the left hand off glass to go. And an inbounds violation was called. I don't think the Saints ever fully took the ball out of bounds. They saw a fast break developing and just fired a pass down the court. An unforced error there. Patrick Robinson never fully got established out of bounds before he passed that one in bounds.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, wow, both these teams playing at such a fast pace, blazing down both ends of the court, and right there, a bit too fast.
It'll end up with the Titans. Blackmore has it with 15 on the shot clock. And an offensive foul will be called there. I think they're going to get Devin Hinton underneath the basket, fighting, trying to establish positioning there. And the Saints, they are tied for the last playoff spot with Southwestern Oregon. They split the season series. The Saints have a lot to play for here, and they are watching their season dwindle away as they have a 17-point deficit with 10 minutes left to go. Bounce pass ends up with Vaughn, who drives all the way to the bucket. Can't get the roll to go, but Robinson able to collect the rebound, and this one will stay with the Saints. Multiple whistles. And everyone seems to have a different idea about what those whistles are.
Jason Harbert is going to take a seat for the Titans as Kai Blodgett comes back in.
Ends up in the hands of Wilson. 17 points in the night for him. Goes behind the back, drives inside, runs his way to the bucket. Can't get it to go, and a foul will be called. Wilson will step to the line. Timeout called as well. 9:54 left to go in the game. 62-45. The Titans are holding on to a lead. The Saints, again, they're tied for that last playoff spot with Southwestern Oregon. Southwestern Oregon currently up 7, top of the second half against Portland. Saints, 9:54 from the end of the regular season here. And the Titans, nothing to play for in the standings. They're playing for it with a lot of pride here. A 17-point lead against a team they lost to, a team they're staring up at the standings in.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's the last game of their regular season. The last time a lot of these sophomores will be in this place to play with these teammates. And, of course, you're going to play your heart out, and I think it's safe to say that they are. Kai Blodgett, 18 points so far on 7 of 12 shooting. He just checked back into the game. He's got 8 rebounds as well, and he's currently outscoring the guy we've been talking about all game, Will Wilson. Wilson only has 17 points so far, but he's shooting 7 of 16. And he's 0 of 5 from 3 still.
A far cry below his season averages of 49% from the field and 42% from 3. That was Devin Hinton's 3rd foul of the game. A quiet night for Hinton, 5 points and 2 of 5 shooting. But he does have 9 rebounds. And those have been some key offensive rebounds for Hinton as well. The lineup for the Titans, Blackmore, Hinton, San Germano, Blodgett, and Foreman. Wilson has 3 of 3 from the charity stripe tonight. And he hits his 4th. That'll cut the lead down. A 16-point lead now for the Titans. And Wilson hits them both to stay perfect from the free throw line tonight. Leads down to 15. We tick inside 10 minutes left to go in the game. Blackmore works with a San Germano screen, gives to San Germano. Now Foreman, back up to Hinton. Everyone touches it. Blodgett working inside, takes a free throw line jumper, gets the roll, and Kai Blodgett now 21 on the night. 20 points on the night. Wilson drives left, runs out of space, double team in the corner, gives it up. A quick three-pointer here. That one rims out, controlled by the Saints. Pass inside, blocked away, still loose, and Blackmore comes up with it. A defensive stand for the Titans. Now a chance to turn it into offense. The alley-oop and put in by Kai Blodgett. Blackmore and Blodgett. A two-man game, gets it done, and a turnover on the other side. Titans have the ball.
What a great job. Just in the last minute of action. What a great job. The court vision, the physicality, everything is just doing its absolute best for the Titans right now, and they are just rolling on ahead.
The referees confirmed they did change the call. This will be Saints ball, but what a sequence there for the Titans. A quick two-point jumper, well far. Foreman comes up with it in space, gives it San Germano in the corner, slows it down. Back outside to Blackmore. Now San Germano has it. The handoff goes to Foreman. 13 the shot clock. Hinton controls. Back to Blackmore. Working with the Hinton screen. Drives to the free throw line. Puts up a short floater. Well short, but Hinton the rebound. The putback is good. The Titans have a 21-point lead. 8.5 minutes left to go in the season. Wilson lost the handle. Able to collect. Fires to Vaughn. Inside. Back out to Vaughn. Drives down the lane. Puts up a shot, and an offensive foul is called. Foreman leaving it all on the line.
Exactly right. Good job right there, Foreman, just stepping in there, getting.
And it looks like the call again was changed. Referees conferring. The Titans can't believe it. That's a couple calls now we've seen changed against the Titans after conference. Either way, the Titans a 21-point lead, and they are strengthening their grip on this game, and we are quickly approaching desperation time for the Saints. Cameron Vaughn will step to the line, 3 of 4 on the night. .818 left to go in the game, and the Saints need to start stringing together stops and scores very quickly. Robinson will check into the game for the Saints, sending Barber to the bench. Both these teams working with relatively limited lineups, short rotations for both these squads. Free throw rims out. Another whistle. Unsure what that one was for.
I think Foreman stepped forward.
Lane violation. That free throw is good. Cuts the lead down to 18. Foreman backing down Vaughn. Vaughn lost his footing, and a foul will be called against Vaughn as he tangled up with Foreman. Saints are in the bonus. They might have gotten him for the flop call.
Yeah, I guess it was a technical.
Might have gotten him for the flop call as San Germano will take a technical free throw here. Because I certainly didn't see much contact. I thought they had called a defensive foul, but the way that Vaughn fell backwards, they might have gotten as if he was flopping off of the call. So either way, San Germano with the free throw extends the lead back to 19, and now the Titans will have possession of the ball here.
Yeah, one thing I'm wondering is because the spot that Vaughn kind of was in is the same spot that they were wiping down earlier with Sweat, so maybe he just slipped. He could have, he just slipped because the ground was slick, and then
sounded like a Saints fan over there.
Hey, I'm just noticing that there was it was slick there earlier.
Blackmore now backing down. The entry pass goes to Hinton. A lot of contact, and Wilson will get called for the foul, sending Hinton to the line.
Wow, another foul. After having such a quick series of plays a little bit ago, just a few minutes ago, it feels like the game is slowed down to a crawl. A lot of fouls now coming in from both teams.
And a timeout will be called. 7:57 left to go in the game. 69-50 is the score. On cue, as you say, the game has slowed down. It certainly has. Titans now have 4 players in double-digit scoring, led by Kai Blodgett, who is 1 point away from his season high. He has 22 in the night. Blackmore and Harbert both have 13. San Germano's up to 12. For the Saints, they have 2 19-point scorers, Wilson and Vaughn. But they're going to need a lot more of that as they trail by 19.
Yeah, and part of that is really due to the just physicality that we've been seeing from the Titans crashing the glass. I mean, their difference in rebounding is astronomical. So far, the Saints have 22 compared to the Titans 35. And of those 35, 11 of them have been on the offensive end. It's just been a great job all around. They don't give up on the plays. They've been crashing down physically, out-rebounding this team. And it's been part of the reason why they have such a big lead now.
Devin Hinton only has 7 points on the night, but there's a reason he's the 5th highest rebounder in the conference. He has 10 rebounds on the night, and they have been some massive rebounds for Hinton. Crashing the glass, getting offensive rebounds. He has changed the course of this game as well in the night in which he's been honored as one of the sophomores in the squad. And the three-point shooting struggles for the Saints continue. Again, they are the 6th highest percentage shooting team in the conference. They are 1 of 13 on the night. 1 of 13. Hinton will step to the line. A 45% free throw shooter. 1 of 3 tonight. Gets that one to go. Extends the lead to 20, 70 to 50. Devin Hinton's family in attendance tonight for the sophomore night. He hits them both, and now Hampton with the ball. The give to Sorensen, who's checked back in, working against Hinton. Fires a pass to a wide-open Vaughn under the basket who cannot handle it. And he cannot believe it. Cutting baseline, no one with him, standing alone under the basket, just took his eye off the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's more surprising, the fact that he didn't catch the ball or the fact that he was so wide open. Absolutely blown coverage by the defense.
San Germano gets it past midcourt, gives to Blackmore with 20 on the shot clock. Blackmore gives up to Foreman, swung to Blodgett. Back to Blackmore, guarded by Vaughn. Pick and roll with Hinton incoming. Blackmore dumps it off to Blodgett. Spins back inside, puts up the floater. Cannot get the roll, but Blackmore tips it in. How many times have we seen that play from Javon Blackmore, rising up with one hand and tip it in? A full court pass goes to Sorensen, who lays it up quickly. The athleticism of Blackmore always on display. Hinton will take this one up off the pass, fires to Blodgett, swung to San Germano, and now Blackmore slows down, standing on the logo. We tick inside, 7 minutes left to go. The lead is 21. Working in and around a couple screens. Blackmore backs out a defender, loses his foot. He has to give it up. San Germano goes all the way to the bucket, can't get it to go. Hinton able to somehow find the rebound. Hinton drives inside into a wall of defenders, and a defensive foul is called. The Saints' frustration with the ref continues, but Patrick Robinson will be called for the blocking foul as him and Sorensen collapsed on Hinton.
And now both teams in the second half have 7 fouls each. Now both teams are in the bonus. So, for the Titans, this is good because now anytime they get fouled by a team that is leading the conference in fouls, they're going to get a chance at a one-on-one.
Hinton will step to the line, a chance to earn himself a double-double. This one rattles out, rebound controlled by Hampton. He'll take it up himself. Give to Sorensen, back to Hampton. Hampton spins his way inside, back out, a quick three-pointer for the Saints. Leaves that one short, long rebound, goes to Wilson. Fakes left, goes right, all the way to the bucket, up under, cannot get the shot to fall. And then they plow through San Germano, who seems to find himself in the hard end of contact every game. And San Germano will get fouled. It's been a frustrating night for Wilson. It's 7 of 17 on the night. 0 of 5 for 3, 19 points, so a high-scoring night, but a very inefficient night for one of the more efficient scorers in the conference. Devin Hinton now still 1 point short of double-double, and San Germano will step to the line.
San Germano tonight, 12 points so far. Perfect on his free throws.
Make that 4-4 for the sophomore. San Germano, high-arcing free throw shot, hits them both. 6 minutes left to go in the game. Wilson guarded by Blodgett. Give it up to Hampton. Working with a screen. Back to Wilson. Drives to the elbow. Spin move back inside. Tries to get it up, but can't get it up. Kicks out to Hampton. Fake three. Goes all the way to the bucket. Puts up a shot and gets it to go. A sweet move there from Wayne Hampton. Blackmore will take this up slowly. They want to go slow here as we're down to 5:43 left to go in the game. And a 21-point lead for the Titans. Blodgett has it. Little jump stop. Awkward shot. Leaves it short. And now Wilson has it in a 3-on-3. Drives inside. Puts up a shot. That won't go. He had 2 men open. Decided to take it himself. And now Blodgett's a 5-on-2 to the bucket. Gets the shot to go. Sorensen on the ground. Kai Blodgett now has a season-high 24 points. Saints desperately need something here. Hampton drives inside, puts up an awkward shot, and will get fouled by San Germano, who cannot believe it. Shocker. But Kai Blodgett, now 24 points on 10 of 17 shooting. That's his season high for the sophomore. There's something in the air here tonight. In the first half of this doubleheader, Sierra Shepley, a sophomore being honored, had a career high. Now, Kai Blodgett, a sophomore being honored, himself has a season high.
What a way to celebrate your last game here for Lane, for the Titans. You know, Sierra Shepley able to lead their team to a victory. And here for the Titans, still with a pretty sizable lead. 22 points here coming towards the tail end of this game.
First free throw was good. Foreman steps to the bench. Harbert will check in. Second free throw is left short. Blodgett collects. Blodgett now a double-double, 24 points, 10 rebounds. Blackmore fires a pass to Blodgett, guarded by Sorensen. The give to San Germano, and that one will be tipped away by Vaughn. It's a one-on-one fast break. Vaughn to the bucket. Cannot get it to go, but Wilson crashes, puts it up, and another foul by San Germano.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, if you're San Germano, there's not much else you can do. I mean, he was trying to catch up to, you know, contest the first shot. It goes away. You turn around. Wilson's right there in your face. I mean, there's not much else you can do there.
A timeout will be called. 4:52 left to go in the game. 77-55 is the score. The Titans closing in on their 10th victory of the season, excuse me. And so what a cool moment for head coach CJ Edwards in his first season as the LCC coach. Previously, he worked with Corbin, went to school at Concordia. It's just been a really nice season for him. It's been an up and down season for him. They had some great runs and some tough runs. They started the season 4-1, then a tough December where they went 1-6, 3-4 in January. And again, since February 1st, they were just 1-7. They're banged up. They have a short rotation right now. But I think it's a credit to this team that every game they've come out and they fought hard. And tonight, against a team with everything to play for, they find themselves with a 22-point lead, under 5 minutes left to go. Free throws incoming for Wilson. Again, the conference's leading scorer, who has struggled with efficiency tonight, just 7 of 18 from the floor, 0 of 5 from 3,
But
19 points.
So far, perfect from his free throws. He's taken 5 so far, tied for the most made in this game tonight.
And he stays perfect with that one. Blackmore, Blodgett, Hinton, Harbert, and San Germano. So the starting 5 on the floor for the Titans. And Wilson stays perfect, cuts the lead down to 20. Blackmore has it. Will take it up. A soft guard from Hampton. Blackmore backs him down and then hands it off to Blodgett. Fires at San Germano. And a foul will be called on San Germano. That'll send San Germano to the line. Kai Blodgett a double-double on the night. Devin Hinton a double-double on the night. San Germano with 14 points on a less than efficient night, but still a nice scoring total for the sophomore. He hits his first. The Titans more than happy to trade buckets here with the Saints as they hold a sizable lead. And San Germano, perfect on that trip. Perfect on the night from the charity stripe. Hampton going quickly here, drives all the way to the bucket, puts up a reverse shot. That won't go. Fighting in for the rebound is Vaughn. He loses the handle. Hinton comes up with it. Blackmore, double team deep in the backcourt, splits the double team, fakes right, goes left, somehow gets past another defender, finds Hinton to the bucket, blocked away. And we're going to get offensive interference there. That bucket will count for Hinton.
Yeah, I was about to say, goaltending right there. Oh, man. Quick pass inside into the paint and an even quicker shot to get it up.
How did Blackmore get out of that double team, shimmying and shaking defenders in the backcourt? His athleticism is incredible.
There was 3 players defending him.
Wilson, uncontested, drives to the bucket, gets that one to go. Inbound goes to Blackmore, face guarded by Hampton. Working quickly, now guarded by Wilson. Drives to his right, gives it up to Blodgett. 17 in the shot clock, back to Blackmore in the corner. Trying to go slowly here. They find San Germano, and Edwards wants a timeout. He wants to talk this possession over with 12 seconds on the shot clock. He'll take a timeout.
It's interesting to see a timeout around here. You would think with under 4 minutes left to go and such a large lead, you'd want to kind of run out the clock instead of give your opponents an opportunity to talk about the game plan. So we'll see what head coach C.J. Edwards is drawing up here. I mean, we know the Titans love to stay aggressive. We've been seeing it all game long. So it'll be fun to see what they come up with out of the huddle.
The only thing I can think of is, maybe they really want to score here. This is a team that has struggled with leads in second halves. They've had leads in the last 2 games in the second half and lost both of those games. However, those weren't 20-point leads. So it's a slightly different story here tonight as they hold a 22-point lead. Clearly still valuing every possession here. Wilson up to 23 points. He averages 27 points for the Saints, but they're going to need some serious Wilson magic to make this one happen. Sorensen, Wilson, Vaughn, Hampton, and Fowler, the 5 in the court for the Saints. That's their starting 5. And the Titans will send their starting 5 out to match. 3:48 left to go in the game. 81-59 is the score. San Germano inbounds to trying to get to Blackmore. Instead, he'll find Blodgett deep in the backcourt. Almost a backcourt violation. Back to Blackmore. 8 in the shot clock. He's got to go quickly here. He'll drive all the way to the bucket. Scoop shot will not go. Rebound tipped out, controlled by the Saints. They're going to go quickly here. Vaughn all the way to the bucket. Almost blocked away by Blodgett, but that shot goes. 3:30 left to go in the game, but still a 20-point lead. Blackmore dumps it to Hinton, who dribbles to the center of the court. Swung around, ends up with San Germano. To Harbert, back to Blackmore on the logo. Saints becoming increasingly desperate on defense. Blackmore working on a Hinton screen, gives it to Harbert. Dumped inside and stolen away by Wilson. Wilson's a 4-on-2, dribbles to the bucket, puts up a shot. That will go. Blackmore receives the inbound. More full court pressure, but he gets past it, finds Blodgett. Motioned by Hinton to slow down. Cross court to Harbert, back to Blackmore. 15 on the shot clock, guarded by Wilson. Here comes the double team. Blackmore dribbles out of it, gives it to Blodgett. Blodgett drives paint, spins baseline, puts up a shot. That won't go. Saints going hyper quick here as Wilson almost loses that one out of bounds. Wilson fakes left, goes right, runs himself into trouble. Outside, Sorensen for 3. That one's good. Just the second made three-pointer of the game for the Saints. Blackmore in the backcourt. Back to San Germano, still in the backcourt. Blackmore has it. A lot of contact by Wilson, and a foul will be called as Blackmore gets sent to the ground. Wilson emphatically acting out the flop that he saw. Blackmore helped to the ground. That is just the second made 3 of the game as Sorensen hit that one, 2 of 15. For the 6th best three-point shooting team in the conference.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that kind of sums up how that last couple of plays have been going, because after that timeout, the Titans hardly had any offense going. It didn't seem like they could get any good looks, and the Saints were starting to roll. And now here at the line for the free throws to try to extend the lead back to what it was. And it'll be interesting to see how the rest of this game plays out.
Blackmore now 2 of 5 from the free throw line tonight. Make that 3 of 6 as he extends the lead back up. It's a 17-point lead with just 2:18 left to go in the game. Bounce pass to Sorensen to a pull for 3. That one back rim won't go. Rebound goes to Blodgett. Blackmore able to take a deep breath here with the ball. Double team in the backcourt. Finds Hinton. Kicks to Harbert. Swung to San Germano. Back to Harbert. San Germano could have taken that 3, but he wants to go slow.
Yeah, at this point, you got to just milk out as much time as you can. There's under 2 minutes left to go in the game.
And that will be stolen away by Wilson. We've seen him on the fast break before. Fakes left, goes right, all the way to the bucket, gets it to go. What a physical move there by Will Wilson. Inbound goes to Blackmore. A dangerous pass to Harbert, who comes up with it. Almost stolen away, back to San Germano. Blackmore slows this one down. A couple ugly turnovers here, and Blackmore will get fouled. You got to think if the Titans lose this big of a lead this late in the game, they're going to be at the wrong end of an ESPN notification.
Yeah, but I mean, with 1:27 left to do, let's do some math. So there's a 30-second shot clock. You really just have to dribble it out to end this out. I mean,
you'd have to turn the ball over approximately 16 consecutive times to lose this lead. It's been an ugly couple of minutes of offense for the Titans, but they still hold a sizable lead. Blackmore hits that free throw.
And if you commit that many turnovers in this a little amount of time, I think you should be relegated back to the high school varsity level.
16-point lead. Chance to build on it. Under 90 seconds. Blackmore, perfect on that trip.
And
now
the Titans are much better than that.
Yes, they are indeed. Wilson pulls for 3. That one rims out. A foul will be called on Hinton as the rebound. And never mind, against Hinton. He can't believe it. Frankly, neither can I. Wilson now 0 of 6 from the night from distance. A 40% free throw, 3-point shooter. Just cannot find the bucket. Devin Hinton's family can't believe it either. They're in the front row, very loudly voicing their displeasure in that call. I'm kind of on their side here. That sends Nick Fowler to the line. He gets his first free throw. Those are his first free throws of the night. His 3rd point. Blackmore will check out of the game. That'll send Rashid Modi, Junior Leggy, Davey Burdett in. Kai Blodgett checks out. San Germano checks out. The reserves are in for the Titans. Just 78 seconds left and a standing ovation for these players. The second free throw is good. Cuts the lead to 15. Inbound goes to Modi, back to Hinton. Gives it to Burdett. Runs himself into trouble. Loses the ball. Sorensen comes up with it. Lays it in. Leads down to 13. Clock is running with 65 seconds left, and Modi wants a timeout to talk about it. And Blackmore will have to check back into the game. I think he thought he was done for the night, but after one possession, Edwards wants him back into the game to run the offense.
Yeah,
or at least dribble the ball up the court.
Yeah, or because, I mean, we've seen him weave in and out of defenders, defending him in the backcourt. It seems like he doesn't even notice that they're there. He just gets through them like it's nothing.
His speed is just incredible. His awareness in the backcourt. He's gotten himself out of trouble so many times with that.
It's incredible.
64 seconds left to go in the game. A 13-point lead for the home team. It was as many as in the 20s just a couple moments ago. The Saints fighting to climb with their eyes set on a quickly fading playoff spot. Leggy, Modi, Blackmore, Hinton, and Harbert, the 5 in the court. Blackmore receives the inbound. Double teamed, loses it, and double dribbled in the backcourt. Blackmore, a quick turnover here. And things are starting to tighten up a little bit. They still have a 13-point lead with 60 seconds left. But the pressure from the Saints is getting to them. Inbound goes to Sorensen. To Wilson. Wilson drives inside, tied up, and a held ball. The possession arrow is pointing towards the Saints, so this one will stay with the Saints. But what defense inside as Hinton collapsed? Hampton inbounds, fires one to Wilson, catches. He's got to score quickly here. Loses the ball, able to regain. Wilson pulls for 3, and that one rattles in. Wilson, his first three-pointer of the night at the perfect time. Lead is down to 10. Blackmore holding into the backcourt, dribbles up the baseline, and he will be fouled in front of the Saints bench by Wilson, who is now 1 for 7 on the night for 3. That is just the third made 3 of the night for the Saints. 3 of 18 for the 6th best three-point shooting team in the conference. This will send Blackmore back to the line. where he has been very active tonight, 5 of 8 so far. Misses the first, a 10-point lead with 43.9 left to go in the game. And Blackmore misses them both. Sorensen fires a full-court pass to an inexplicably wide-open Vaughn, who loses the handle. Somehow comes up with it, still on the ground. Hampton comes up with it. They got to score quickly here. Wilson dumps to Sorensen in the corner for 3. That one's good! Sorensen, a quick three-pointer. Blackmore receives the inbound. 29 left in the game. He's double-teamed in the backcourt, dumps it to Modi. Loses the ball. Hampton comes up with it, pulls for a quick 3, and he hits it! A three-pointer. It's a 4-point lead with 19.1 left to go in the game. Hampton somehow fired that 3. He could have been fouled, too, after the turnover by Modi.
Wow, what a sequence. That's 3 straight threes from the Saints after not making any in the first half. Incredible
They
job.
have turned it on at just the right moment. And now with 19.1, it is a 2-possession game.
Well,
the Titans led by more than 20 with 3:35 left to go in the game. Now with 19.1 left, they lead by 4. Edwards desperately trying to hold his team together. And the starting lineup will come back out for these Titans. If you remember, just about a minute ago, the starters were on the bench. Both teams in the bonus. Harbert to inbound. Fires one to Blodgett, who will hold it as long as possible. Will dribble it up, give it to Harbert. Back to Blodgett. Loses the ball. Blackmore somehow saves it. Dumps it to Hinton with 8 seconds on the clock. And Hinton will get fouled. Disaster averted, as that ball was almost another turnover. But now Hinton will step to the line with a 4-point lead. 7.4 on the clock. And Hinton, not a great three-point shooter.
Yeah, but you know what? Even if he doesn't make these free throws, what really matters is the fact that they took down so much time on the clock. There's just 7 seconds left on the clock. So even hypothetically, if he misses all of these free throws, there's going to be a lot of a harder chance for the Saints to try to come back in this one. Even if they make a 3, they'll be unable to take the game if they don't get the ball back.
I think the referees are currently talking to some fans in the crowd, asking them to keep it down. The Saints let 12 seconds to bleed off the clock there, and normally you foul instantly when you're down 4 with 20 seconds left, but because of how bad the Titans have been with the ball, it's almost like they were waiting for the turnover.
And it almost happened.
But then it cut them because then they lost 12 seconds. Hinton hits the first. It'll extend the lead to 5. Titans playing pure defense here. Usually you see Leggy in the game in these situations, but it will be the starting lineup instead. Hinton misses it. Hampton collects, will sprint up the court. He's got to score very quickly. Pulls for a quick three-pointer. That one's off rim. Rebound by who else? Devin Hinton. He holds the ball, and the clock hits triple zeros. The Saints comeback ends up short, and the Titans, in their final game of the 2023 season, come out on top, 86-81.
And at one point where we thought this was a game set in stone, somehow the Titans want to make it a thriller and still end up with the victory. What a game it was. And, man, what a way to end the season here at home.
What a way to end it indeed. The teams exchanging pleasantries after the game. A dramatic win as they hold on and don't cough up a massive lead. The Titans finish this season 10 of 18 on the season, 5 of 11 in conference. Head coach C.J. Edwards in his first year, able to build something here. Kai Blodgett, a season-high 24 points. Devon Blackmore, 29 points. Riley San Germano, 16. Harbert, 13. Hinton, 12. A double-double for Hinton as he went 12 and 12. A fantastic end to a fantastic season. It's been a pleasure calling for all of you here on the Lane live stream. A big thank you to the staff who made this possible. Head coach Greg Sheely, head coach C.J. Edwards, both of them exchanging hugs on the court as we speak. We're making this possible. My name is Levi Berchthold. Jacob Salau, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure calling for you all. I'm sure we cannot wait. Let's start counting down the days until the start of next season. Also keep an eye on those scoreboards. Lane women's basketball will be in the postseason. You can find those scores online as well. Thank you very much for listening here on the Lane live stream.